thinking
Boom.
super hard.
Super.
And we're live. And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. So, looks like the debate has started, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we've got Dee joining us, Miss Danielle Weatherford. Oh, wait, how come,
Boom.
you got it? All right.
Hello.
Oh, what is that echo we have going on?
I don't know. Let me turn it down.
Oh, is that, are you listening to the debate? Is that what we're hearing in the background?
Greatest economy in the world. He's the only one.
All right. So let's see. Okay. Rumble is having trouble. Who's got something playing in the background? Can you mute that? Whatever that is. Thank you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to do some live debate commentary because you know it's going to be nonsense. You know they're all going to be full of crap. My question is, it is 9 p.m. Eastern, y'all. Okay. At 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm ready for bed. I'm not great. What are we expecting from these 80-year-old men? Can they make it?
Classics.
Taking bets.
Geriatric patient Biden, I think, is going to be on a unique set of cocktails. I think they've been formulating it for the entire 2 weeks that he's been disappeared.
Didn't they find cocaine at the White House again recently?
Yeah.
So I'm just, they're doing a speedball of some variety.
God, something.
That's my guess. Sorry, y'all, for the
A
drunky
speedball of some variety.
Yeah, you got to be a junkie to know what that means. Audience, if you don't know what that means, you don't need to. It's better off that way. Okay. So Benjamin, do you see the Rumble thing? Do you see?
Yeah, they're having issues. Everybody's having issues.
Okay, yeah, you guys, this is real talk. Rumble is getting tested tonight. Rumble is seriously getting tested tonight because you got the Crowder live stream, the quartering live stream, which I always like to watch them after, because I just like to watch the commentary after the fact. So I'm gonna be watching some of my other favorite creators make fun of these two fools. And then we're gonna make fun of them in the meantime. All right, Danielle, taking bets. Are they gonna stay awake through the whole debate?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we going to stay awake? I'm wondering, are we going to survive?
Bruh, that's why I'm sitting down. Okay, any of you guys who watch my show normally know that I do it sitting up because I'm kind of a spaz and I want to be able to get up and walk around and do my search for sanity, as Olga calls it. And but it's late, bruh. I'm sitting down.
I'm wide awake, man. I am so awake. And
are you into
it? It's kind of boring as I'm watching these guys. They're kind of, the audience does something for people. This is
that makes a lot of sense.
So did it start already?
It did. I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, so hang on, you guys. I am about to hold on. Let me mute this. Okay, you guys talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I pull this up and ready to go. Benjamin,
so did you hear they've created this special scenarios where they have the debate is on like a 10-second delay. They have special buttons so they can mute the microphones. Of course, I predict they're going to mute Trump more than they mute Biden.
I
guess. Think a la Hillary Clinton, I'm sure Biden already has had the questions ahead of time.
We know Hillary likes to cheat.
Yep. Okay, so Benjamin, I mess this up all of the time. Okay, so do I share the system audio or no? Because it's running through. Will that make it echo? Okay, you guys, if you're in the stream, if you're watching, tell us if we end up having audio issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so do share the system audio.
If you want them to hear it, yeah.
I thought that was the thing that made the echo. Okay. All right, ready, guys?
Yep.
In his administration, he did the mandate,
Can
which is a
everybody hear it?
disaster, mandating it.
Oh, why is
The
it playing
vaccine
through my
went out. He
computer?
did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people vaccine. And he did a
Why
very
is it
poor
playing
job,
on my-
just a very poor job. And I will tell you, very poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer
Because
respected as a
it-
country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country. And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block.
Biden looked like he
President
was
Biden,
sleeping.
I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
Confused.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For
Look
example,
at how
we have
stressed he
1,000
looks.
trillionaires in America.
These wrinkles on his
Is that
forehead.
him talking that
And what's
fast?
happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion
What
dollars,
is he
I should
saying?
say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help
When has
make
he
sure
ever
that all those
talked
things we
this
need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system.
That's what I told you,
making sure that
speedballs.
we're able to make
Drugs.
every single
Yeah.
solitary person
Adderall.
eligible for what I've been
Dude,
able to do
look
with
at the stress
with
trying to get the
COVID.
words out.
Excuse me, with dealing with
This looks
everything
painful.
we
Do you
have to
guys?
do with,
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's my thought.
look,
Okay, here's my thinking. Oh,
Okay.
wait.
we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Well, he's right. He
What?
did beat
Wait, look
Medicaid.
at Trump's reaction. Wait.
Beat it to death, and he's destroying
Oh my
Medicare.
gosh, look at his
because
face.
all of these people
Yeah.
are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social
Hang on.
Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to
Oh, wait, how do I?
single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming
Because
in.
we have to
they're trying put
occasionally
them on
like
Social
stop it and
Security.
mute it for fair use. We have to make sure we don't get in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, we might boot you at some point because you're on the not free speech platform. So we're co-streaming on Wait, did we get up on Rumble? No, Rumble's still being funny. So if you lose us, you guys, you'll find us over on Twitter. Twitter, we are streaming there. Yep, Trump goes straight for the jugular. We are streaming on Twitter. That's the free speech platform. So if anything happens, you will find us there. You guys, look at how hard he's struggling with the words.
And he's talking
Overturned Roe v.
so
Wade.
fast.
This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex, but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states.
Saying that Trump is trying to take away women's right to choose.
You're muted.
Oh, they keep saying Trump is going to take away women's. Wait,
Trump is going to take away women's right to choose, and oh my god, abortion bans galore. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
and that is like
They have
not,
to get. They have
you
to
know,
get
much
the
to some
feminists
people's
to the
chagrin,
polls.
not the. Yep, that'll get them out. That gets people motivated. I think it's so crazy that they're publishing news article or ads. They're just straight up lies. They're just straight up bullcrap. Just straight up bullcrap. I cannot wait to hear what Biden's response is going to be on this. Look at his face, you guys. Is
They
that
are
not
just
just, am I
pumping in-
tripping? Or is that like
No.
actually kind of disturbing to watch?
I think they're like
Like
talking
he
into his
looks
ear.
vacant,
Yeah,
right?
dead eyes, like shark eyes.
Look at vacant, not present, not present.
Can we play it?
Wild.
Is it shark
Is
eyes?
they're radical because they will
What'd you say? Shark eye? The
do with the baby,
internet.
meaning will kill the baby.
I don't know if you
What
guys in
happened
the
is we
audience
brought
can
it
see it.
back to the States,
Y'all's
and the country
boxes
is
are
now
spinning
coming
and spinning
together
and
on this
spinning.
issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank
All right,
you.
what were you saying,
President
Olga?
Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done.
Oh,
The fact is that
can
the
hear you.
vast
Can you hear
majority
me?
of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided.
Yeah.
Supported Roe. And that's
can hear you
this
now.
idea that they were all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states
what?
are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn
Oh,
the
what,
civil
all
rights back to
doctors
the
are men?
states.
No.
And each
Oh,
state had
Biden's a
woman who
sexist.
just was murdered.
Doctors must be a man.
He went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot.
What
of
does
women
that
who
have to do with
being
the
raped by
abortion
their
conversation?
in-laws,
Yeah.
by their
The jello mush
spouses,
in his brain.
brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous. And they can
Wait,
do
say that
nothing
again,
about
Danielle?
it.
My
I
man's
said the same
lost.
thing you said.
Dude, what are we talking about right now? What does
Yeah.
it matter if you get raped?
Use the internet speak here.
Dangerous place anywhere in the world. Considered the most dangerous place
Look at-
anywhere in the
look
world.
at that face.
And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country. And they are raping. It's a terrible thing. As
Wow.
far as the abortion's concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases,
And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here's my theory, you guys. Where's my tinfoil hat? This is.
What?
Oh, what's that, Danielle?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay, we're just. You guys are. I'm losing. Are you having the same problem, Benjamin?
Yeah, we can't. I can't
not
hear what they're
catching
saying.
anything,
Like it
Danielle.
goes in and out.
No, I'm talking to. No, I'm muting it on purpose so that we don't get a
Okay.
copyright strike.
Oh, I
But
see.
Danielle and Tina Libertarian, you guys, Olga, yeah, you guys keep cutting out. So if you're talking, I can't hear you. So if I start talking, just keep talking. I don't
Okay.
know, you guys, if you're out there in the audience, let us know. Maybe it's just my audio. Put the captions on if you can. How do I do that? Closed captioning.
I don't know if the video.
All right, here, hold on.
Third time is between the doctor, between
It
the
says
woman
the
and the
closed
state.
captions are unavailable.
The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the
They don't care
politicians
about deaf people.
to be
Got
the
it.
ones making decisions on
Apparently.
women's health is
Maybe they don't
ridiculous.
think they'll be able
It's
to
the last
hear
real
what
politician should be making that
exactly
decision.
Biden is
A
saying.
doctor should be making those decisions.
There's
That's
no
how it
way
should be
anyone
run.
could translate
That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, that's what
Because
the
you're a
quartering.
Supreme Court. You're the Supreme Court.
That's the quartering is doing a bingo card, and
Okay.
that's one of the ones is a word salad. One of the bingo squares is if Biden does a word salad, like turbo pressure, and my butt's been wiped, and things like that. Oh, what are we talking
Provide for
about?
that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going
Oh,
to die.
we're talking about
That's the only
abortion still.
circumstance in which that can happen.
Yeah, and
But
he's
we
for
are
that.
not for
He's for that.
late-term
Well, you are.
abortion, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the
For
Republicans.
51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken.
You know what else used to be
51 years, they were
constitutional
wrong.
law? You know what
What?
else used to be constitutional law? That black people weren't people.
The Constitution.
I'm pretty sure there was a time when there was like
Women
separate but
couldn't
equal.
vote. Right.
Yeah.
There it
So when
was.
talking about years of precedent, I just think about all of how like every bad thing that the United States has ever participated in or like done to its people was at one point legal or fine, constitutionally protected or whatever. So I'm just
Legal
not
doesn't mean correct or moral.
Correct.
Bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. Significantly, by the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where, when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally.
What?
It's better than when he left office. And I'm
wow.
going to continue to move until we get the total ban.
Who built the cages,
the
Joe?
total initiative relative to what we're going to do with
The cages
Border Patrol,
that Donald Trump
more-
put babies in. Who built them?
That voice is
Said
killing
either.
me.
Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do
Facts.
is leave it. All he had to do is leave it. He decided
Facts.
to open up our border.
Oh my
open
God,
up
look
our
at it. I
country
can't
to
get over his
people that
face.
are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now. All terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East,
Yep, they're
everywhere,
finding them
all
from
over the world. They're
China
pouring in.
and
And this
every
guy
country
just
all
left
over
it
the
open.
place.
And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that
There are already
final
laws to
couple of
protect
months
the
of
border.
my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon,
just did, but
just
it's
speak to him.
Won't say
But
that.
Look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in
Thank you, President
caravans.
Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed Al Qaeda person come in his administration.
What?
Killed
About the
three
young ladies who-
American
yeah.
soldiers. Killed three
That's-
American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist
What's he
ever got
talking
through.
about?
The idea they're emptying their prisons.
I have to
we're
admit-
welcoming these people. It's simply not
Trump
true. There's
is
no data
handling
to
himself
support
significantly better than he did the last go round. The last time they did a debate, he looked like a
Deportation
giant
operation
bully.
in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed three people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the two greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border,
Oh my God, his face.
on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including of thousands of people dying and also killing
terrified.
our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in
Okay, so I think
They had a funeral today for a young lady.
Literally.
I was shocked that Biden.
You're off mic, Erica.
You're muted.
Oh, so this is my theory, you guys, that they put Biden up to this knowing he was going to be terrible so that they could replace him at the convention. I feel I was shocked that the Biden camp actually agreed to do this debate. And I think, you know what? I think the Dems set it up on purpose so that homeboy would look bad. What do you guys think?
Well, didn't Hillary Clinton recently tweet critiquing Biden and saying he's not up for the job and she knows a gal who is? Let me see if that's legit.
Oh,
Let me
my
see.
God. Nobody wants her, bro.
Oh, no,
No, oh, well,
she
I mean-
didn't.
let me make sure. But I saw that and I was just like, please God, just go away. Let me
Well,
see
She
if that
skipped her
was
own party with
right.
Bernie.
Yeah, screw that. So wait, Danielle, what were you saying about Danielle, was it you that was saying something about a funeral today?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, they had the
Who was
12-year-old
talking
girl
about that?
the 12-year-old girl who was allegedly raped, and she was she was
Hmm.
strangled to death, and so by two people that came across the border.
From Venezuela.
Yeah, so it's very
Oh,
very
but you
sad.
know, everybody's fine. Human beings are inherently
But it's Trump's
good.
fault.
What?
And even in that case, the judge commented and literally
It's
said that it was Trump's fault.
Yeah, that's the Harris County judge who has a bachelor's and she's not an attorney. Yeah, that one.
How is she a judge?
Oh, what?
There's some type of something there that you
Wait,
can
what?
run to be a judge without having to have a law school.
Oh my God.
She's
So wait,
Yeah,
wait, a
Or know
county
the
judge,
law.
you don't have to have any law degree to be a county judge. You have to there are no
It's-
credentials to being a county
I don't know
judge.
about other places, but I know for there, that's a different story for that particular
Yeah.
area.
Well, and county judge is not the same as like a judge that like does crimes and stuff.
Yeah.
They do more
Yeah.
municipal dealings,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Oh, so she was just commenting. I thought that was the judge on the
The
case.
sucker. You're the loser.
Oh, what are we
President Trump?
shaking our head about?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine
Yeah,
that's
they
failing, like many of
debunked
these
that. They-
magazines. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taking better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's
Look at
taken better
his
care of our soldiers than I have.
bro.
To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was
stress
made up,
lines on his
just like the
forehead and
51
the furrowed
intelligence
brow, like-
agents are made up,
I mean,
just like the new thing with the 16 economists are
You
talking.
can
It's
look
the same.
with no sound. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be your president? Okay.
I mean, he's
Real-
just lost.
Talk.
Well, I'm an
That's political.
independent and I'm watching very
Star General
closely.
And your side was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea, apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans.
So Danielle, you said you're an independent. Does that mean Robert Kennedy is a consideration?
Possibly. I'm watching everybody. Let's just say it that way. I'm just kind of, I'm here. I'm observing,
All right.
and
All right.
just taking
Everybody,
it all in.
everybody except the Libertarian Party candidate, right? Oh, that's good.
I'm watching everybody.
Libertarian Party candidate,
Negatory.
unfortunately.
You won't once you hear him talk.
No,
No,
not
I know-
that
I
guy
know.
is definitely a big hard no for me. Hard
You know
pass.
what? The
I
way
think
I
he's the
look at
worst
it is,
commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than
Did you
just
see
about it.
that? Oh my God! You
Let
guys.
him cook, Erica.
Ugh.
If we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned. And so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
What is first of all, what is up with my computer?
Unmute your mic, though.
What is up with my computer? I like Danielle's audio isn't matching. Can you hear everybody fine?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, well, we might have to switch who is leading this.
Just move your headphones.
That's not what the problem is. You
Is it
Hey
just-
guys, I gotta
spinning
jump off for a little bit. I'll try to jump back on.
Anything they're saying.
Copy. Gotcha.
Is it just my headphones? Can you hear me, Ben?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I can go to a different computer and get, because I just got back from the gym, guys. So trying to build up muscles here.
All right.
I can get
That's
on my
what's
mic
good.
and put my
Gotta hit those
headset on.
weights.
I don't know if it's your internet. Oh, see, that's what I got a wicked delay, like by 3-4 seconds on her audio.
Mhm.
All right.
That's all it is. We didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him to do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days. Remember? Because it's part of the Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to establish. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He didn't able to get it done. They've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
if I
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory.
No, they're unacceptable.
Donald Trump's.
But look, this is a war
Self-control
that
is
never
pretty
should have
impressive
started.
through this.
If we had a leader war, he let everybody along. He's got $200 billion now. Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to
NATO
know what
countries
he's
that you
gonna
weren't
do,
supposed to be
because
in the
if in
first
fact he
place,
does what he
because you weren't
says and
supposed to
walks
be getting
away,
that close to
by the
Russia
way,
in the first
all
place.
that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the
I hate
United
to
States. We
become
give
a
them the
Putin
weapons,
apologist,
not the
but-
money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
You
Number
keep
one,
telling me not to mute.
everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan they put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is we trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas, number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened In Israel, we're trying to say the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so they're two different things. Hamas cannot
that
allow to
might
be
be true.
continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second.
That
We have
is
an ocean separating us.
reasonable.
The European nations together have spent 100 billion or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost
I love it. He's talking about NATO. What do you think? Do you guys think that NATO still makes sense? Do you think we should still have NATO, be funding it?
I'm not versed enough to have a strong opinion. I do know that they shouldn't be that close to Russia. I know that much.
Right? Oh, Danielle might be having audio issues.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I just got a message in my ear from somebody, so I didn't hear what you said. I think I just heard NATO. I don't know what
So
She-
okay.
She was asking about NATO. She was still being.
Okay.
War in it.
Well, we'll just go back to it.
One's attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. They're the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, no, they don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play a
What you
game.
got, Benjamin?
I mean, some of the stuff he was talking about, I was not that schooled up on NATO. But I did take the time to look at the map, and it shows the progression of the map over a period of time. And if you look at Russia as the enemy, right, for NATO, and the map just keeps closing in on them, I don't know what you would expect them to do. And Joe Biden talking about Iran and all that stuff, the whole point of Trump is that we weren't having those incidences when he was in power.
That's right.
He was actually getting to a point of peace in the Middle East, like historic accords and whatnot. So saying that you did something after something bad happened is not better than saying that your presence repels a war.
Good point.
January
Good point.
6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after political because he can't be squid.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was.
It is hard to defend our drop in economy, our drop in energy independence. I don't know what Biden's going to say here.
And patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Offered her 10,000 soldiers of National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her liar.
I wonder. Go ahead, Ben.
Look,
Oh,
It is very clear that Nancy Pelosi is a terrible person.
oh,
That's all I got to say.
that was it.
That was it.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that any more?
Mm-mm. That was it.
Pause it. Harder and harder to understand. He's like,
Okay. Let's see what they got next.
a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden.
That
President
was
Trump.
nasty.
What they've done to some people
nasty.
that are so innocent,
yeah.
you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people when they rip down
All the Black Lives
Minnesota,
Matter
Minneapolis,
protests.
what they've done there. When you look at
Crazy,
all
guys.
of the,
Crazy.
they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic.
So you
One of
guys
the-
watching out in the audience, did you hear about that? Did you hear about
Which is
the recording that
basically
came out of
horrible
Nancy
Republicans that are all-
Pelosi talking about how she was the one who was responsible? Comment below if you have heard about that or if this is the first time you're hearing about it.
Are you muting again, Erica?
I thought we had to mute so it wouldn't give an echo on the stream because it plays out of my speaker. And
No,
so
the audio is muted in StreamYard.
I did not mute the audio in StreamYard.
Well, screen's muted. The guest is muted. I can't unmute that.
I didn't mute her.
No, the screen share.
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury
talking.
Oh, that's not cool. They didn't let him respond. That's not cool. Okay. All right. I'm like,
Have a right to seek retribution. What would you
Unshare
dude.
the screen, then reshare.
Okay. All right. So we're having some technical situations here, you guys. Give us just a second. So what's going on, Benjamin?
Reshare the screen again.
All right. Got it. Now what? Do I share system audio or no?
Yes.
Okay. Shared. Now what?
Should play like normal.
While your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number
an
two,
alley cat.
that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil
doesn't.
and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they
now,
found out
Mark is
about
not
these
good.
cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up.
You know what, Erica? I agree with
Because you're
you.
reporting it, and we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam, and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote,
Ooh.
Donald Trump and his
They
MAGA
are setting
Republicans
him up.
are
Square.
determined
They're
to destroy
setting him up.
American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote
question
for
right here.
President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has
Plenty
no
of people have
problem.
been falsely accused. That angle's not gonna work.
Ever hear any president say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic
Bro, you
file
support Ukraine. They have
back in Germany.
Nazis over there.
And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the
Old
mother,
Nazi squadron,
and they
apparently.
asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The people who
Just
the ones
be
who got killed, the one
consistent.
who tried to stop it, and the ones he said, I think they're fine people on both
Trump's
sides."
incredulous face is
What
very ugly.
American
The
president
duck face thing
would
that
ever
he
say
does when he's
did
very
not
This
just
is
incredulous.
finna go bad
fields
for him.
carrying torches,
This has been
singing
debunked.
the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people. And this is a guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done. That's
Look at that
Roads,
empty,
infrastructure.
vacant look.
I mean, he's a terrible dude, but that you can't say that everything was bad.
Wiped out, because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on this. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency is, without question, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place. Every anchor every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day, it came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden?
And debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president at all. And the idea that he's talking about all this being fabricated, we saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th.
Yeah, we also heard with our own ears.
We saw people
I
occupying
condemn the
his
white
own vice
Nazi,
president.
you know, the
Look, there's a reason why
white supremacists and neo-Nazis totally, you know, they are terrible, but they're good people on both sides of the debate on the statues. Not good people who are white supremacists.
CNN presidential debate.
Wow.
Oh, let me find that.
Wow.
I'm trying to find the quote.
Wow.
I'm trying to find the exact quote.
I remember that.
Yeah, he said white supremacists and
Neo-Nazis.
should be condemned
Totally. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the exact quote because I don't want to misquote it.
Yep. Trump.
I don't remember torches coming out of the woods. What is that?
I don't know.
I'm trying to, when he's
That
talking
was
about
there was guys with tiki torches. I remember seeing that video. It was guys with tiki torches walking like through the street yelling, "Jews will not replace us." Oh, that's probably gonna get me kicked off the internet.
Wow.
Somebody will clip that.
So, but he was referring to Charlottesville, but they didn't do that at Charlottesville.
Yeah, that was
They
part of it.
did?
Yeah, it
Okay, I
was a
don't
whole.
remember seeing that
There
piece
was
of
a
it.
whole. There was a legitimate like neo-Nazi rally that happened.
Yeah, there was.
So,
Yeah, there was.
yeah, so that was the unfortunate thing. It was basically like there was a debate about whether or not to keep the statues. You know, is it important to the history? What matters more? And then
Wait.
some do bags decided to have a good time with it.
I'm reading on presidency.ucsb.edu.
Okay.
It says Democrats in the media love to repeat the false claim that President Trump praised white supremacists in Charlottesville. Joe Biden even launched his campaign on this entirely fake news. As CNN's Jake Tapper has said, President Trump did not call neo-Nazis or white supremacists very fine people. This is the quote. Jake Tapper, elsewhere in those remarks, the president did condemn neo-Nazis and white supremacists. So he's not saying that neo-Nazis and white supremacists are very fine people. President Trump, August 15th, 2017. I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists because they should be condemned
Totally.
Our president just got on TV and lied again.
Is it normal for them to have an intermission?
Yes.
Yes. They're supposed to fact check those, already have those types of things. So, yeah. Anyway.
We just had to fact check our president.
Yeah. You're out here literally lying to people. And so this is what I say. Either you're evil or you're stupid.
He's not stupid.
I don't know if it can be both. I don't know if it can be neither. I don't know if it can be like he can't really think that that's true, right? Like he can't really believe that that's true. Can he?
He can. It's very hard to change your mind on things if the thing we're talking about gets you paid.
It's very hard to change your mind on things if you're a dementia patient and you can't remember whether or not something that you've said is true.
I mean, we're looking at President Groundhog Day right now. And I'm sorry, because I'm trying to be
I don't want to be disrespectful.
nonpartisan. No. I don't
This is
care
what
about
it's
being
gonna be right now.
disrespectful. That's the president.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be smart
it.
enough to have a conversation
Bruh.
with facts and not lie. If you don't,
If
we
you're the
can-
president, you better be smarter than
Let
me.
me finish
What?
this.
Okay.
If you can watch a man talk with full coverage, interviews, all this intel that's verifiable, and you don't remember what he said, and you can't tell us what he said, how am I supposed to trust you on what Putin said or what whoever else and wherever else
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
on things where you have tangents of information and not full video coverage, and you have interviews with transcriptions.
They're talking about
We
black people
see
right
you.
now.
You gotta make sure
Oh, are we back?
Oh,
Yeah,
please go back.
we're back.
Please get back into it.
when you provide those child care protections, you're protections, you increase economic growth because more people can be in the job market. So there's more to be done, considerably more to be done. But we've done a great deal so far, and I'm not letting up, and they know it.
You have 49 seconds left. What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any black family first-time home buyer should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals who provided had to take out student loans.
Look at how
that
smug
were
Donald Trump
learning
looks.
That if they were engaged in nursing,
He's ready to go.
and-
He's like-
anything having to do with volunteerism.
He's like,
If
I've
they
been on
paid their
rap
bills for
albums,
10
bro.
years on
Talk
their
to me about
student
black
debt,
people.
all the rest is forgiven after 10 years.
Talk to me
Millions
when
have
you sat in
benefited
the
from
studio
that.
with G Unit.
And we're going to do a whole lot more for black families.
Thank you, President Trump.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right. It's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people.
Yep.
They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the
temporary
cost
inflation.
of food where it's doubled.
Transitory.
Oh, it was
Quadrupled.
transitory.
They can't live.
Transitory.
They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking
You ain't
black
black.
jobs now. And it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs. And you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 50% unemployment. He decimated the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time.
It was
There were no
it
jobs.
was COVID, you
What, bro?
liar, bro.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's
terrible.
What do you mean there's no inflation because there's no what?
We have covered, with the ACA
There's
has
I mean, there's an
made sure
insinuation that people are
$8,000 per
stupid.
person
They
in
don't
the
get it.
family to get written off. for
Don't get that
healthcare.
there's
But this
COVID.
guy
We don't
wants to eliminate
get all of
it.
that.
He's tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try
You're
to
muted.
if they win. You find ourselves in a position where
You're muted, Erica.
that we're not doing any.
Can't hear me now.
They think you're stupid.
Yes,
They think
they think we are
They
uneducated.
think you're stupid.
Equity and making sure people have a shot to make it.
Super stupid. You were
Wait, so Daniel,
fell off a turnip truck yesterday, and that's when you were
Daniel,
born.
what do you think about that?
Do I get to talk like that too?
Wait, is it making CNN sound like that too?
No, it does not.
It sounds like it in my headphones.
No, it does not.
Boo.
That insults me.
You know,
It insults me to think that, from having an ID to vote to not understanding that my pocketbook is being affected, that looking for a new car,
Yep.
the car rates are outrageous. There's
Yep.
just so much over and over and over again that I don't get that.
Yep.
And people like me wouldn't get that.
Wait,
so-
Danielle. Wait, Danielle
Yes.
though. But you're black.
Tell
I
me.
thought that you meant you
I
meant you
am.
didn't even know what the word computer is.
No,
Computadora.
according to
no.
according to the governor of New York, black
Yeah.
kids don't know what a computer is.
Listen, part of my language, but these mother effers sound real racist when they talk.
Bruh. I'm telling you. How are the how
I'm a tech guy, bro.
I'm not even like, I'm not even that. Look. I mean, I'm okay, smart, all right, but I'm not the brightest bulb. But I'm definitely smarter than some people. It doesn't take a genius to
Hold on,
see
hold on.
this stuff.
Let's see what other racist stuff they're saying
Okay.
right now.
Black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But when you see these millions of people pouring into a country that they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started.
It's a disaster.
You 38 seconds left, President Trump. Will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air. And we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever. And we were using all forms of energy, all forms, everything.
Not
And
the
yet,
H2O.
during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever.
I am
And my
really
top
worried
environmental
about
people
the
gave me that
weather.
statistic just before I walked on the stage, actually.
I'm super
I don't know where the hell he's been.
scared.
The idea.
And
that anything
I'm
he
pretty
said
sure
is
that the
true.
climate
Our
and
past, the
weather
most extensive,
and
most extensive
wind
climate
and the
change
sun and
legislation
everything
in
are
history.
like all
In history. We
related.
find ourselves,
And
by
so
the way,
I think
black
we should
colleges.
put mist in the air to
came
block
up with
the
$50 billion
sun.
for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges.
That
because
is
they
a
don't
legitimate
have
proposal
they don't
from
have
Bill
the
Gates,
kind
ladies
of
and gentlemen. Bill
contributors
Gates
that they have
wants to block out the sun
build these
with
laboratories
mist
and all
in the
that.
atmosphere.
Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just have the money. But now to be able to get those jobs in high tech, we're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something that had the cleanest water, he hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it because of
The commie accords? Well, listen. The truth of the matter is, as the government, we don't want them to do that much. So that's not really a critique. The question is, are the numbers accurate? And I don't know.
Just leave us alone. Hey, here's the deal. I'm not totally against all of the organizations like the EPA, right? I mean, I want there to be clean water. There was a time when corporations did not give a hoot. They were happy to put, and they still are. Think about it. Isn't Roundup now finally gotten sued and owes like $1 bajillion for basically giving everybody cancer? Like, come on.
I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people, but we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
the idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence who were not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything if we're not able to? The United States can't get its pollution under control. One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half.
You guys, Did you see that
significant
move
progress
towards the nose? He
on
just gave
continuing that
himself a
progress.
sniff.
We set up a climate
He's
corps
sniffing
where
drugs.
thousands of young people will learn how to deal with them, just like the Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements that cause of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here.
Joe Biden, if he was that concerned with pollution, would be having conversations with China, and he's not.
No,
I don't believe him.
they don't care. That's the thing. This is what I love everybody who's like, oh, look at progress that we've made. But China, oh, they're so terrible. China's so terrible. India's so terrible. What do you think they're polluting for, bruh? It's for the stupid crap you buy off of Temu and freaking Alibaba. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't want y'all don't want the environment ruined? Stop buying iPhones and laptops and freaking Temu. Stop shopping like a billionaire.
It's not just about the air. It's about our streets. It's about, we've got a homeless crisis all over the place. And so there's things happening on our streets that go into our water. There's a whole bunch of different things happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is, other countries
Ew,
are
Danielle, you just grossed me out so bad.
sorry, but it's true.
Yeah.
Gross.
You got needles, you
Gross.
got poop, you
That's why
got throw up.
Millionaires
You got-
pay 1%. So
That's
no
why I
one
buy
can-
spring water.
would not raise the cost of
Gross.
Social
Hold on.
Security
Is he
for
talking about
anybody
taxes?
Oh, here we go.
Hoping somebody's not around the spring.
And to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the perfect life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough
Steal
will keep
from
it
more
solvent, but the biggest thing
Americans,
is
got
it.
if we defeat this
From
man,
future
because he
Americans.
wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut with Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare both times. And and if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that I believe supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous. And by the way,
Because I'm a
the
senior.
American
and I
public
need to
has
be
greater
protected.
health care
There's a
coverage
joke
than
in
How do
there
you
right
not
there.
protect-
and on the ACA, as I said, you're in a circumstance where 400 that they in fact are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is we're in a situation where we talk about education for Black communities.
Why
I've
do you only have
raised
47?
the amount of money for Pell Grants, another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year is going to be able to get $15,000 towards their tuition. He just doesn't know what he's
He has
talking
something
about.
in his ear.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with
What is he talking about
politicians
student loans?
all my life.
Hold on.
I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen that he can look you in the face. So,
Oh man.
but so many other things too. And we mentioned the losers and suckers story that he made up. It's a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing. And
That's right.
it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden.
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it, number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where all these millions and millions, the way he talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world.
Oh my
Reason
goodness.
why
I
we
have to
the
say
fourth
something
economy
here.
in the
Can you hear me?
We're doing
Wait,
any
yeah, go ahead.
innovation in the world.
When you have people coming into your country and you give them resources of our resources, it depletes our own resources. So Medicare and typically Medicaid And
159 presidential
if you're
scholars
giving money
voted
off of that,
for
you're
him the
depleting
worst
those
president in
resources
the
that
history
could
of
be
the
going
United States of
to
America.
the citizens.
President
So
Biden, thank you so
that's
much. Let's
very
turn to
true.
the
So
cost
people
of
out there
child
that,
care, which many
that don't
American
understand
families
that,
struggle to afford.
that's
President Trump,
why
both you and
things
President
are
Biden
getting messed up.
have
Trump
tried
has
to
never
address
said
this
he wants to
issue,
get rid of
but the average cost
Social
of child care
Security.
in this country is
Anyway, so as an independent,
Here's
that's
the
huge
thing.
for him.
It's a Ponzi scheme. If a
Yeah.
bunch of people can jump
Social
in at the
Security
end,
literally is a Ponzi scheme.
like they're not.
Yes. You don't get your money that you put into
Literally.
it. You-
So just so and just so people know, Trump is literally not trying to make any changes to entitlements. That was something he promised in 2016 and 2020, much to Republicans' chagrin. So it's another misnomer. It's another lie that he's trying to get rid of social.
This dude's lying, bro. Just look at what they're doing with Social Security. What they've been doing with the funds.
Mm,
yeah.
yeah,
Do your
Yeah.
research. Just look at what they've done with the funds.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Afghan, the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Does
Well, I can't-
RFK have his own debate stage?
Yes,
Shut
he
up.
does.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's called The Real Debate.
He's doing commentary on
Is
the
he
debate.
debating? Oh, that's
on stage.
It's smart.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's got 2 million views.
That's amazing. I want him. It'd be funny if he was debating the libertarian guy. But I think it's even better he's making
I'd be
live
with it.
commentary on these guys. I think that's hysterical. Look, I'm not for RFK. He's a little bit too lefty for me. But I'd take him over Biden any day. Any day. Did you guys know out there in the audience, this is not part of the presidential debate committee or whatever the crap it's called? The official presidential debate committee, I can't remember if they said they wouldn't do it because Trump was, the big bad orange man or whatever the deal was, or if they just didn't trust. But this is not a normal presidential debate hosted in the normal way.
This is wild.
Country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world, the finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody. Number one. Number two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up or go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians. They've had meetings and they voted
Elites.
who's the worst president
like
in
Trump.
American history.
Oh, wait, you
One
mean
to
the
best to worst.
experts?
They said he was
The
the worst in
experts.
all of American history. That's a fact. That's not
Wait,
conjecture.
is this like,
You
is
can
this
argue
the
they're
same
wrong,
as
but
like
that's
the
what they
dudes
voted. The idea
who
that
said
he
that
is
the
knowing
Russian
doing
laptop,
anything to deal with
the laptop was
childcare.
Russian
He
disinformation?
did
Is it the
very
same
virtually
type of
nothing with
elites?
childcare. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of
Yeah.
women and men,
Whoop.
single parents to be able to go back to work, and we should encourage businesses to have.
Thank you, President
childcare
Biden.
facilities.
President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make child care more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you. And they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4
Peace in the
times.
Middle East.
He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire.
He believes
So
he's
everybody,
entitled
including
to
the two of you, are going
more
to pay 4 to
of
5
your
times.
money.
Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd
Look
grow
it, I
up
love
and
it.
I'd see
Cooking.
politicians talking about cutting taxes. When
Cooking.
we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about, he's increased the tariff, he's increased. he
They're
will
going to
increase
go back and forth
the,
on the
taxes
ego
on
of each
middle-class
debating
people.
president right
I said
now.
I
So
never raised a tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American.
A tariff isn't the same is the tax on American people.
A situation where he talks about
Incorrect.
how he is not raised, he's somehow helped the middle class.
You're muted.
They do frame it that way. Opponents of tariffs frame it that way because they believe, and fair enough, that tariffs make goods more expensive on American citizens. Now, whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing is the question. That's the question.
Yeah, but it's not a tax.
It is not a tax, but it is a cute way of framing it. It's a cute way of framing it.
Millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come. But he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut this because it's too much. He's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment
address
they
the
need?
opioid crisis, sir.
We were
Thank you
doing very well
much.
at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough. And it was the drugs pouring across the border it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot. And we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways. But the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, we
At
care
numbers
about
that
poor
nobody's ever
people.
seen
Let's let
under
them
him
get
because the
SA.
border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden.
Yeah, he needs some more
Fentanyl and
food.
the byproduct fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together. This bipartisan deal. More machines, more people to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more numbers, all the people at the border. And when we had that deal done, he called his Republican colleagues, said, don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically. No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of
Both of them
precursors
didn't
for
say how
fentanyl.
they would
And
address
Mexico
it.
is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
They don't know how to address addiction. You're muted.
You know, Trump will close the border and deal with some of that
Yeah.
stuff better than Biden, but I didn't hear great. Hey, take junkies off the street. Like, as a former junkie who got taken off the street for my crimes and made to be accountable for my actions, for the love of God, arrest people, take them off the street, force them to get sober. Please stop being merciful and leaving them on the street.
You're having a conversation
in their
about
illness.
Wall Street Journal reporter.
About the border and drugs. We're having a conversation about addiction
He's over there
and
because Putin
all
is
the other
laughing
things.
at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago, but Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where he paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out,
Oh, wow.
and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about
think
your
they're setting
capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years
All I
younger
heard
than
is
all
you
of us
never had a
combined.
real job.
I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 50 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over millions,
Benjamin can't handle
billions
it
of dollars
anymore.
in private
He's out.
investment
He's done.
in,
So,
in enterprises. We are growing.
kidding.
Well, the whole idea of computer chips, we used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States, and guess what? Those fabs, they call them, to build these chips. Those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds. Would you like to add in?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a
No, we're not right
single
now.
major
Right now.
country president of the United States of America. Problems in all of this. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us. All of our allies and our
Like,
those who
look
he
at
travels up to from.
his eyes,
I'm going to send
and
love
his
letters to Putin, etc.
forehead stress.
They don't want to screw
Again,
around
not
with us.
blinking.
Thank you. To follow up, you will be
And
too at the end of
significantly
your
more
second term.
spry.
What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tentative tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even
Look at
senior,
Joe Biden's
2 regular
weird
club
face.
championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive
I think
test.
that was
And
the-
you know what?
that
I
was
didn't
the
do
lie.
well. I
think you
aced him.
fibbed right there.
Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was a doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 225
Greatest
pounds.
test ever.
35 pounds.
It was the greatest
Well,
test of all
he's
time.
6'4".
There has never been a greater test, okay? Okay? It is the best test. It is the best test. It is
You
the
gotta do your hands,
prettiest.
Erica. Yeah,
You've
do your
never
hands.
had a better test.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
I mean, come on.
And by the way,
It was the
I told
best
you, I'm
test
happy to play golf.
of all time.
He's a Sandy Devil.
I was at 8 handicap.
Are they really arguing about their golf
But I
handicap
have
right
no-
now?
no,
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
you know,
not.
you know,
President
This is
Trump,
the
I want you-
joke.
Let's
This
not
is
get
the,
you.
meandered all
the way.
this is
Specific
the
concerns
whitest,
that voters have
most
about you.
elite
Will you pledge
argument
tonight?
Yes, it is.
I've ever
Like,
seen in
what?
my life.
That's so funny. It is so
I have a
funny.
6 hand.
I'd be really curious about what RFK is saying about this right now. Does he have a swing as well?
Yeah, we.
Let me see, I don't know.
Acceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the
Oh
Rose
yeah,
Garden,
Benjamin,
it's
if you
one of the
can
strongest statements you've ever seen.
toss
In
me
addition
a
to these-
toss me a link.
in
I'll
front
load
of,
it
I
up.
believe, the largest crowd I've ever seen, a small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't
in
have been his
Florida,
political appointment,
where Michael
opponent.
Valdez is.
Because he
What's up, my
indicted
man?
me
Good to see you
because I was
tonight.
his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're seriously failing them because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane.
He's the one saying it. Everybody else is saying it. People say he's the worst.
Imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un, or Putin, they don't respect him.
All right, we want to check out the RFK debate or the RFK feed.
Sure.
He's just watching right now. He ain't doing nothing. Yo, these dudes is wild. I'm gonna say, I mean, I try to come in open-minded, but so far Trump is making way more sense than Joe Biden.
Yeah,
We caught Joe Biden with at least one absolute lie.
at least like 3.
Well, yeah, then the economy won, the inflation won.
There was a bunch of crap he said that is
Hey.
debunked.
Erica, why can somebody that is possibly drugged not blink their eyes? What is it about holding the eyes open like that?
Ooh, I actually don't know the answer to that question.
I
Can we
wanna
look that
know.
up?
I've heard that before.
I
So
want to know how somebody can move
just
out
like,
of Vermont and experience freedom and be able to move back into oppression.
That's
that
a great question.
Is a similar question I have.
interesting.
What? I'm not in Vermont. Who said that?
Michael
Michael?
Valdez.
Mike, why are you moving back to Vermont, bruh? We sold our house. Are you crazy? Why would you live there? Yo, my viewers in Vermont, I'm sorry. I love y'all, but if y'all want to come to Texas, there's like a town that's close to here that our friend who is Korean and Mexican says he wants to gentrify, and he's allowed to say that because he's not white. So we figure we could turn it into Little Vermont. You know, like Chinatown. We could call it like Vermontville, because that's a
Is
good
it?
alliteration.
It's not bringing the progressive policy.
No,
Right,
we
so
would bring
Vermont.
only like
Yeah.
no, we would bring only good patriots down here.
The
come
original
down here.
thinking of Vermont, the way it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, how Vermonters like only like real Vermonters,
If you bring
and
communism,
then Michael.
if you bring
also.
communism into our commune, you get beat up.
Yeah, you get booted out. No commies allowed. No commies allowed.
You bring communism into the commune, you get caned. I like that alliteration.
Commies. Oh, what's this guy saying? Hold on.
Are you able to bring it in? Is it?
Yeah, you gotta share.
Oh,
it.
whoops.
Of any country in the world. We're now 22. We're throwing billions of dollars. And in the inner city schools, most of these kids cannot read words.
It is a crime. We need to give them choice. We need to give them charter schools. Neither of them have done anything about it. The last issue, which both of them have aggravated, is the mass incarceration crisis. 1 out of every 4 black men has had some contact with the correctional service. And 60% of the blacks in American jails are there for nonviolent drug offenses. Why? Because President Biden passed the Drug Act in 1986 that he wrote that gave 100 times the penalty for crack cocaine as powder cocaine. It was designed to put blacks in jail. Then he passed the 1994 Omnibus Crime Bill with the super predatory provisions, the mandatory sentencing, the 3 strikes you're out. Those 2 bills,
Remember that good
He's
old
right.
the
Hillary
amounts of
Clinton?
blacks in American prison.
Super
The amounts of blacks in American prison were steady from the Civil War until
Persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects
You know what
of
is
extreme
so
heat,
funny? Okay, you guys,
intensifying
You gotta turn it down,
wildfires,
baby.
stronger
I know.
hurricanes, and
It took me like half a second to figure out what he said. I was like, there's no effing food.
Well, I just started thinking about it. I just read through it really quick, didn't pay attention to it. And I'm like, that's
Yo, go Pill. How's your movement going? The religion of Antifa. Should have got some new ammunition. But Devin Dietrich says, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Need to know how many ballots to print.
What happened to the RFK thing? Y'all took it off the RFK. You're not going to watch it.
Oh, is it not playing?
sea
Oh,
levels.
hold on.
Yeah, we're
Former
watching.
President Trump,
we're gonna
you've
Wait.
vowed to end
What happened?
He's watching the debate.
initiatives.
Oh,
but
yeah, he's
will you
watching
take
that debate.
Any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Let me just
this
go
way
back
behind.
to what he
They're
said about
talking about the
the
climate
police.
crisis.
how
Yeah,
close
this
the
is
police are to
behind.
him.
I got a
And
commercial.
it was a
right?
great idea. It's one of the most successful
Go back to the
economic
live.
development acts ever
Yeah.
in the country.
Okay.
I need to get a shirt. I
What-
really
what
need to
kind
get
of
a shirt.
Devout
kind
anti-fascist. Ow,
Faucista.
that's right. Ow, I remember that anti-Faucista.
Bro.
Are there t-shirts? Bruh, if you got t-shirts or like merch, throw it in the link below. You guys,
I might make a Texas
if-
Neanderthal shirt.
If you are a fan of my channel, if you have not watched the interview with Gold Pill Patriot
It's fire.
from America Fest this year, you need to go watch it. I totally started to cry. He was preaching. He was totally preaching.
Nice
Oh yeah,
going.
he got me. It was like I was like like that. That's what it did.
Yeah. It's I was talking about Fauci today. I was like, where were all the soy boys when Fauci was out there spreading his
Soy
foolishness?
boys.
Where were all the granola mommies?
Are soy
granola
boys like
grannies?
the Island Boys?
No.
Soy boy.
No.
Do
They're
they- do
people
they
who
kiss
don't
their
like
brothers?
drugs and chemicals and they want organic stuff. But they all disappeared during the violence that cannot be named?
Oh yeah, IVC. No wait,
IVC.
no wait. No wait. What did we call it?
Violence that cannot be named.
No.
What?
It was the
Virus.
virus
No.
that shall not be named.
not be
What did I
named.
call it? We came up with a fun nickname
Came
for
on
it.
from 'em.
What was that?
C19.
Oh, we're on a commercial break here.
All right,
Yeah,
commercial break.
commercial break.
Okay, what the heck were we talking about there?
We were talking
Snap.
about RFK a second ago, but you were talking
RFK.
about
I
the
forget.
I'm failing at life. We should have written it down. It was very funny.
is this
Oh,
RFK thing
Nope.
right here?
I'm gonna pull it up. I'll find it.
Okay, because that does not look like it.
no, nope. We're on the commercial here. Do.
Oh, you are watching it
We'll
on
go like this. We'll go like this. Yeah, we're watching. I don't know what thing we're watching. The Soviet Union.
Soviet Union.
Veganzuela. What are you doing? Okay, Gold Pill. They're citizens of Somalia. Somalia. Oh my God. Too much. It's also because of too much estrogen. That's what it is. Too much soy boys. Okay, let's get back to this here.
We've made significant progress from the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is
It's
fair?
ICV,
The fact is,
Immaculate
as I said,
Conception Virus.
nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny
The God virus.
increasing their taxes.
Virus of the
More money
Immaculate
than the
Conception.
Biden. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit.
How can it be that? Because
Number one,
God wouldn't have
he's
created
increased
that.
inflation because of the debacle
No, but it
we
has
left
no origin.
after the way he handled the pandemic.
Oh, but it
And he finds
does.
himself in a
That's the
position
point.
where he now wants to
Okay,
tax you
all right.
more by putting a 10% tariff
I
on
think
everything
we
that comes into the United
need
States
a
of
different
America.
title.
What I did, when, for example,
That's
he
good,
wants to
Fauci.
get away with, he get rid of the
Fauci
ability of
concept, whatever.
Medicare for the
That was
ability for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior.
I thought Trump
no
had already
matter what
lowered
their-
the price of
how
insulin.
much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the
What did
government
you
don't have to
say,
pay the
Ken?
exorbitant prices.
I
I'm
thought
gonna make that
Trump had
available to
already
every
lowered it,
senior.
and then they reversed it.
All along, it's happening now, and everybody in America.
That was
He wants to get rid of that. We're
Sorry.
going to make sure that we have child care. We're
Didn't
going to
know it.
significantly
I didn't hear
increase
what you
the
said. What he
credits
said,
people
but
have
you
for
were
child care.
responding.
I'm going to make sure
Oh, the
we do
price of
something
insulin.
about what we're doing
Lowered.
on
He did.
lead pipes
He did.
and all the things that are causing health problems.
He said
for
we
people
did.
across the country.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to
Trump had
fight to
already
bring
done
down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't make that. He doesn't make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him, look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like, even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill.
That's
now
right,
you
the
can
right to
go and
try
you
is
can get
actually free.
something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was an incredible choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now
we
on
don't.
CNN.
I don't. Let me tell you whose opinion I don't care about.
Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper is who we don't care about. That guy is not cool.
You're muted. But that dude's an absolute cornball.
Anderson Cooper is a douche. Douche. That guy is.
You know
douchey.
what? I wish.
I'm sorry,
I
but
wish
when
they-
you're,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna, when you're running around talking about your mother's sex life, you're kind of gross.
What?
Kind of, yeah, yeah. His mom was like Ann Taylor, or not Ann Taylor. Sorry, Elizabeth Taylor. I don't remember. His mom was somebody, some freaking famous philanderous woman, and she was known for like sleeping around or something. And he's like, oh, my mom. It's gross.
She was a jean. I used to wear her Gloria Vanderbilt jeans.
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Thank you.
So she was.
Yeah, grody. Like, oh, my mom.
You know what I'm not going to talk about?
Ew.
My mom's sex life.
Ew. Bruh. Who does that?
Cornball.
Like, grody. Okay, let's see what's going on with our man
It's-
over here, Robert
he still
F.
on at
Kennedy
RFK?
Jr. Yeah, let's see if RFK is still talking about anything. Oh, is that you doing that, Benjamin?
Yeah,
Wait.
just change the screen.
Oh, okay. Do. Wait.
Ah,
Is
interesting.
it not? Is it-
Here, let's get caught up. Oh,
So this is he's got himself on a, that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
the way they visually put this
Yeah,
together.
it's like probably
Mhm.
like OBS or something. He's all fancy. He's got money. He's got bread.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got Miss Moneybags. as VP.
Yeah. He ain't got family money.
I was looking at him until his
It was a little slow on the trigger. Yeah, his
I was
VP 's
What was that
super
name?
laying
out
him out. Except his VP choice was just that was off the table for me completely. So, and then he's got some issues that I just he's still a lefty. So I'm an independent, right in the middle. So there's things I just
Yeah,
can't.
Yeah, I can't rock with him.
I don't know if it's accurate, but my mom told me she heard him say something about being for abortion up to the point of birth. I don't know if that's accurate or not, because sometimes people cut things out of context. I don't remember hearing that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
He's a big his vaccines, his medical, his helping with the Black community.
Mhm.
He's done a whole lot with water. So he's doing stuff to make a difference.
Yeah.
That's a very what's the word I'm looking for? Gravitational. What's
Let me
attractive?
give you a
Yeah,
quote.
admirable.
Let me give you a quote.
Admirable. Yeah, he's not just a schlub.
He said,
Yeah.
following pressure from campaign staff, Kennedy announced this NBC announced late Friday that he was walking back his stance of supporting full-term abortions.
Good.
In a statement released on X, quote, abortion has been a notoriously divisive issue in America, but actually I see an emerging consensus. Abortion should be illegal up until a certain number of weeks and restricted thereafter, he said.
Okay.
What's
I mean,
the
yeah.
weeks?
So what's the certain number of weeks?
Yeah, what's the weeks? So that would be it.
Also, why did you change your mind? Is
Yeah.
it just because that's what people think or because you think that's right?
Yeah. Are you gonna switch your mind back again?
Yeah, if everybody's down with it, you okay with it again? You
Yeah.
should be looking at the Constitution
Well, and if
trying to
he's
figure out what that means.
here's the deal: you're a man of science, Mr. Kennedy. You're a scientist, science man.
Science.
Do you follow the science? Like, when is a life a life, sir?
Well, that's
Are you
not
able to
the-
turn up the volume
Yeah.
on him?
turn it up on it.
Security is not an entitlement. Social Security is a contract.
Oh.
Workers put 6% of their income
I think he's
into
having audio problems.
into a fund, and they're told that at 65 they're going to get that money back.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
an entitlement. It is contractual, and the
He's having
government,
audio problems.
the
That's
United States government, would be outrageous if the United States government did not live up to its full faith and credit.
It's not a
Paying
contract.
back those obligations, even if it has to reach outside of the
It
Social Security
is.
system to get it.
Social
Social
if you
Security
are-
be doing is winding
It's
down.
a
Yeah,
requirement.
because
I
you've
can't
got
get
an
out of
offer and
it.
an acceptance, right? No, it's an offer and acceptance. So you are taking your money and putting it somewhere.
Which is the biggest cause. for
Okay. And
4.3
at the time, you're not told in how that's going to play out, right? But you have an offer and acceptance. So you're accepting this process of doing something and you're offering your funds to go somewhere. So that's a contract.
Yeah,
Now,
but like,
at the end, I was just going to say at the end, the government to me really doesn't do what the contract says because you're only getting percentages of your money. You're not getting your money.
they spend
That's
the
a
money.
problem. That's exactly right. But the way a true contract is you would be getting your money. They scheme you out of your money because you get these statements that tell you how much you have accrued over the years.
Mhm.
But you don't get that back. You get a percentage, just like timetables when you do your investments
Yeah,
for
but
your retirement. So
my understanding is that my investments are elections. Social Security, if I go get a job, my understanding is I don't really have a choice.
Yeah, you
you
have to pay Social
do.
Security no matter what.
You do and you
Yeah.
don't. So you do have to pay it. Yeah. So it's part of them taking out those medical costs as well as the financial piece of it
Like
with
I
that.
would have opted out.
Yeah. So George Bush a long time ago wanted to give you that opportunity to do that, to manage your own monies to
Yeah,
do
and they
that.
attacked him for it, and they
Yeah,
said he
he
was a
did.
racist bigot for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
So angry.
Oh yeah. It's because he hates poor people.
So
Oh,
mad.
make childcare more affordable.
When it comes down to it, it's really how what we heard just a few minutes ago, how people think you're not smart, and we need to
Mm.
take care of you. And my thinking, and you people don't like this, is it's a plantation thinking,
Mm.
because you have your people that used to run the plantation, and you can't survive once you leave the plantation without us. And so, that's you have to still have that we need to take care of you. I had somebody that I was working on in a film festival a while back said, "Well, how we were talking about Black people, and this person was white, and that person says, "Well, how are they supposed to take care of themselves?"
By relying on the government.
And I'm like, you educate people, you teach a man to fish. That's just it.
Well,
If you don't teach the
we were
knowledge,
talking
then
today about Obama and his the crowdfund section 181. Forget the other section, section 3 crowdfunding, whatever. But it's Reg CF, and the fact that we can do equity crowdfunding. And I was talking to my mother-in-law about before only rich people, accredited investors, which doesn't mean smart, it just means people who can afford to take a loss, were able to invest in startup companies and get really rich when they go public. And we weren't allowed to do that.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. You're not letting me play all out. So when I lose and when I fail, of course I'm blaming the government. You got all in the way of my success. Let me rock. Now that does mean if I fail, you got to let me fail.
Yes, so that's how you learn. That's how you grow. It's good. You're always taught in a startup to fell over and fell over and fell over again. So you can grow. So yeah. Well, that's the same thing
Wait,
for.
Erica's muted.
Oh, go ahead, Eric.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, well, we as much as this has been fun and invigorating, I have to be to a client's office at 8 o'clock in the morning
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow, and it is an hour away from here. So I love you guys.
Gee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you too.
I want to go to sleep.
Go get your sleep on.
And Benjamin's going out with his heterosexual life mate.
It's nobody's business. It's
Uh,
nobody's business.
Yeah.
have a good time
Right?
with your life
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
You guys, do you guys know Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? If you are old school like me, and you know Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, comment below. Comment. But seriously, I'm like legitimately tired. You hear me? I'm starting to slur my words because
Okay, Joe.
I'm freaking tired. How did these freaking 80-year-olds do it?
They slept all day and they woke up ready. Then they took the speedball. That's a joke, YouTube. That's a joke, Instagram.
Yeah,
I don't know if they really took a
not,
speedball. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Any last words? Any final thoughts before we wrap it
Trump
up, y'all?
won. That's the
Clearly.
takeaway.
I
tried
want to
come
know
in.
how somebody keeps their eyes open like that. That's what the whole time.
You know what?
Sure.
You know what it is? It's
No.
you just get hyper focused on stuff.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you
Like this.
That wide?
Uh,
Okay. I'm gonna get
uh,
hyper focused. All right. I do. I want to know. I'm really curious about that. Just so this independent girl's watching closely.
Girl, it doesn't matter how independent you are. Ain't no effing way. There's a choice. Why do you got the voice on? Because it's funny. I'm sorry, chat.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
have that voice.
Aren't you sad? I wish we could put our guests' audio through the mixer so that you also could have a funny voice.
I can have a funny voice without the audio mix on.
Well, that's true. That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, shout out to we got
54.
Yeah, shout out, y'all.
A couple people
Thanks for
on
watching.
Instagram.
Thanks for chatting it up, y'all.
Thanks for joining us. Please like, share, comment.
Wait a second. Puerto Rico can opt out of taxes and Social Security.
I shared that like
That-
15 minutes ago.
That is so chintzy. What is even? Why even?
Pronto
Why,
llegará
dude?
el día de mi
Why these
suerte, te lo
places
juro por
still
mi
deal
te.
with us? I don't even
Like
know.
that
Listen,
Statue of
Erica,
Liberty that
do you
I
know
know.
why-
Isn't her logo fantastic?
Do you know why
It's
they
got
can check
guns.
out?
Why do we need what?
Does it have
You know why
guns?
they can opt out?
Why can they opt out?
Because la tierra borinquen, donde nacido yo.
I don't speak
Es un
Spanish.
jardín florido de México.
I heard
primo.
something about going to
Oh, we
Florida
need
and
some,
Mexico.
Un
Some
cielo siempre nítido.
I hear-
rating
heard-
on that singing.
I'm going to
just saying.
Florida and Mexico. I'm
Erica
pretty sure.
could put the auto tune on. I could get in.
Oh, which one?
I don't know.
You
That's
need to
not
put the music.
auto-tune.
You need
is
to
there
put the
an
music
auto-tune
under
option?
to lay some music underneath that.
That's not auto-tune.
I don't
Erica
think,
doesn't know
is
how
there
to
an
auto-tune.
auto-tune?
Yeah, we got a complicated board.
That's not it.
Is it that?
That's no. That's just
It sounds pretty cool though.
La tierra de Borinco, donde nacido yo. Es un jardín florido de México primo. Un cielo siempre nítido, les debe de docer. Y dan arrullos plácidos.
Oh, you got auto tune. Oh yeah, check that out.
That was bonus.
Oh, that was a serious bonus. Ooh, okay, I could go.
We're all tired. I'm sorry.
I seriously have no idea how to turn this off now.
Oh my God.
There we go. Oh,
All right.
ah,
Well,
look
there
at-
you go. Y'all can have
pushing
your,
buttons works.
your lullabies tonight. As you
Yes.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
speaking of lullabies for y'all, how about you take a gander at our commercial for our book. Our book, Reasons to Trust the Government.
Yeah.
And if you needed any more evidence of reasons to trust the government, the debate tonight was a great one. Great evidentiary evidence.
They're not supposed to be powerful enough to ruin your life.
They're not. Buy our book, $9.99 on Amazon.com.
Troll your relatives.
Do
The
it.
key to life is proper trolling.
Leave a review.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Best review gets a prize.
Best review. Best review gets, what do they get, Benjamin? A prize?
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. I don't know.
Something. You'll get something.
Yeah.
Cool. Something cool. All right. Good night,
All
y'all.
right, peace yourself.
This book will give you wings!
What kind of wings?
Not like Icarus wings, like eagle's wings!
What about dragons?
You'll have dragon's blood! You'll be able to breathe fire!
Fire like the Ultra Eagle Dragon!
This book will make you smarter!
Yes!
I'm not just talking honor roll smart, I'm talking Nikola Tesla smart! You'll be so good looking, Brad Pitt will be jealous!
Do you want to make money?
How much money?
Elon Musk money.
That's a lot of money!
People will think you're Elon Musk, but you're not Elon Musk. But they'll think you're
Elon Musk, because you pay taxes like Elon Musk!
And you have to argue with Elizabeth Warren because she thinks you're Elon Musk. Do you want freedom?
How much freedom?
All the freedom. One to America. How much freedom do you want?
America!
Double America!